The Boeing internal safety reporting system is still burying filed disclosures right now, and the FAA can't stop it. Inside Boeing's quality management database, thousands of defect reports are classified, sealed, and held under proprietary exception. The agency legally tasked with protecting you already reviewed some of those files, and after that review, the files stayed sealed. Today, I'm showing you exactly why. Boeing's Aviation Safety Action Program, ASAP, was designed as a cooperation framework between manufacturers and the FAA. The logic was clean. Employees report safety defects voluntarily. The company receives limited immunity from enforcement action. The FAA gets the data. Everyone benefits. That's the official story. The program launched in the late 1990s. By 2019, after two 737 MAX crashes killed 346 people, the ASAP database at Boeing held hundreds of thousands of individual safety entries. Reports from engineers, from mechanics, from quality inspectors who found something wrong and filed it exactly the way the system instructed. Boeing called it a culture of safety. The FAA called it a model program. That's where the story was supposed to end. It didn't end there. After the MAX crashes, congressional investigators pulled the ASAP records. What they found was a system that had been turned against the very people who used it. Engineers who filed defect reports started facing retaliation. Not immediately, quietly. Reassignments, performance reviews that suddenly flipped negative, exclusion from key programs. John Barnett was a Boeing quality manager for 32 years. He documented defective parts being installed on 787 Dreamliners, components that failed inspection, pulled from scrap bins installed anyway. He filed those reports directly into the safety system. Boeing's response was to open an internal investigation, not into the parts, into Barnett. He was removed from his role. His personnel file was flagged. The database designed to protect him became the audit trail used against him. He sued. He gave depositions. In March 2024, 3 days before his final deposition was scheduled to conclude, John Barnett was found dead in a South Carolina parking lot. And it's still running. The FAA reviewed Boeing's safety culture in 2019. They found systemic failures. They issued corrective action requirements. Boeing submitted a compliance plan. The FAA accepted it. The Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations opened its own inquiry. They subpoenaed Boeing. They got documents. Some of them, the ones that weren't protected under the ASAP confidentiality framework. Because here's what most coverage missed. The FAA's own regulatory structure legally shields those ASAP records from public release. Federal Statute 49 U.S.C. Section 40,123. Safety data voluntarily submitted under an approved program is protected from disclosure. The agency tasked with protecting the flying public literally cannot release the files that would prove what happened inside Boeing's factories. The FAA has known this for years. Here's the mechanism no one reported clearly. ASAP is a voluntary disclosure program. Voluntary disclosure programs are protected by statute to encourage reporting. That protection doesn't expire when a company weaponizes the program as a legal shield. It doesn't expire when the reports inside document criminal negligence. It doesn't expire when 346 people are dead. The FAA can access the files. They cannot publish them. They cannot hand them to Congress without triggering years of Boeing litigation. Boeing's legal team structured the ASAP agreement to preserve exactly that standing, the right to contest any third-party disclosure, any FOIA request, any congressional subpoena. And here's the part nobody covered. The FAA co-authored that program structure. They signed off on the legal architecture that made their own impotence permanent. Ed Pearson, former 737 MAX senior production manager, testified before Congress that the FAA was systematically too deferential to Boeing during certification. The FAA's own Inspector General agreed in writing. The Inspector General recommended sweeping structural changes to how Boeing's self-reported safety data gets handled. Boeing submitted a corrective action plan in response. The FAA reviewed it and approved it. The ASAP database stayed sealed. Whistleblowers kept getting flagged, reassigned, quietly removed. And it's still running. What this means is specific. Right now, there are filed safety reports inside Boeing's ASAP system describing defects on aircraft in active commercial service. Your aircraft. Reports filed by inspectors who found something wrong and did exactly what they were instructed to do. Those reports are protected not from Boeing but from you. The National Transportation Safety Board can request them in active crash investigations. The NTSB can review them under confidentiality. The NTSB cannot publish them either. Every investigative body with access operates under the same legal framework. The files exist. The agencies have seen them. None of them can tell you what's inside. And every Boeing jet that lifts off today carries a safety record the people responsible for your life are legally prohibited from sharing with you. So here's what nobody has answered. Who benefits from a safety disclosure system that legally protects its own disclosures from the public? Who wrote the statute that keeps the files sealed? Boeing's federal lobbying spend exceeded $15 million in the years the 737 MAX was being certified. The FAA approved the MAX. The ASAP framework stayed intact. Right now, today, on a plane you might board this week, there is a maintenance record no regulator is legally permitted to show you. Ask yourself why that's the one part they never fixed.